Nästan 2 miljoner passagerare reste med SAS i september, en ökning med över 70% från samma månad 2021. Men året för flygbolaget har ju kantats av strejker och finansiella problem. Aktien har sedan början av året rasat 62%. Med oss nu har vi Pedersen, analyschef på Sydbank, and now I will switch to English. Jacob, what do you think about this number?
Well, I think it's better than what we have been seeing through COVID. But if we look at the status just before the pilot strike in June and July, this is actually still not very good. SAS is missing around 200,000 passengers compared to the levels the company had back in May before the pilot strike. So if we compare the number of passengers in May to the numbers before COVID in May, and we do the same thing for September, we end up at a 200,000 passenger gap. So some of the things that SAS lost during the pilot strike has definitely not been reversed, and I think as the months go by, it'll probably prove very difficult for SAS to regain the market share that the company has lost over the strike.
And the company is struggling with big losses. It has released a reconstruction plan called SAS Forward in order to save the company. What do you think about this? Will it be successful?
Yeah, well, I think in the current weeks we have heard some progress in this plan, especially the progress with the leasing companies. I think is positive. In my book, that was by no means a sure thing. It's quite easy for leasing companies to just get out of the agreement with SAS and maybe rent out the aircraft to other airlines at a better price. So this is definitely a positive for SAS, but there is still a lot of work to be done. A lot of work still with leasing companies, but also with other debt holders, and of course with employee groups and other suppliers, renegotiation of contracts to lower costs. So SAS is by no means finished on its SAS Forward ambitions. More need to be done.
And these numbers that we got today, do you think they are one step in the right direction, or it doesn't matter that much?
Well, I had hoped for more, but I would also say that when SAS last week issued its guidance for this financial year, I was also aware that my anticipations could be too high, but still, I think at least a return to the levels of traffic improvement compared to COVID, as we saw in May, would be very beneficial for the company. But we're definitely not there yet. As I said, it's around 200,000 passengers that are missing in September.
And you were talking a bit about it, but this week we got the news that SAS reached an agreement to amend the terms of existing aircraft and equipment lease agreement. What big difference will this make?
Well, I think it makes a big difference because to me it has from the beginning looked like a very big hurdle, a very big step to take to reach some kind of agreement with the leasing companies, and SAS has taken big steps forward in regards to that, and in regards to the saving of between 850 and 1 billion Swedish kronor on these agreements, and that is of course a positive. I think other types of negotiations will be easier, but let's be prudent. SAS is not there yet with all the leasing companies, and there's still a lot of negotiations still to be made for the company.
But you think this is some sort of shift that we are seeing in the company then?
No, well, I think it's a difficult process for the company, but for every step forward, of course, it's a positive. But it's necessary. It's necessary to lower cost and to get new agreements on lower debt with bondholders and debtors all over, and that is what the company needs to work with, and SAS is working with this, and it takes steps forward. Not every week, but still, it's steps forward, and that of course is a positive in regards to achieving the objectives of SAS Forward.
And just the final question now, many worried stockholders at this point, how should they act, do you think?
Yeah, well, I've just reiterated my sell recommendation on the stock. SAS has said that there will be a huge dilution when the company goes through with a rights issue in the first half of 2023. SAS has even said that it could be total dilutive, as in there's no value left for the current stockholders. And that, of course, is an eye opener in terms of what the value of the shares today should be. So I still think that the share price at the moment is very high compared to the almost nothing that it should be worth, and probably eventually will be.
Thank you for coming here today to talk about this.